You're listening to the John and Heidi Show Bonus Hour. If you miss any of the program, you can find the podcast at the bottom of the page at sunnyradio.com.
Give yourself a little credit.
It's more important than ever to have a better credit card. At bettercreditcards.com, we offer a variety of credit card options to fit your needs. Whether you want a card to give you cash back or a credit card to help you build your credit, we probably have it at bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
Give yourself a little credit. Go ahead and switch to bettercreditcards.com.
Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Wednesday. We've got a lot of fun stuff coming up later this week. First of all, back to the basics in healthcare, Balanced Life Chiropractic. We'll be doing that here in just a moment. Then tomorrow, we're going to be visiting with a young man about Lifelight. That's coming up this Sunday in Sioux Falls. There's also a comedy show tomorrow night at Lucky's in downtown Sioux Falls, an all-female comedy show. Whether we talk to a comic from that or just talk about that, we'll be chatting about that for sure tomorrow. And then Friday, we've got Sue Peters from the American Legion, and we're going to be visiting about pancakes, because, we got that this weekend. And I'm trying to think, there's something else. Oh, yeah, Free Flag Friday. We'll be doing that on Friday. So if you have not yet signed up to win, I suggest you do that now. sunnyradio.com. You can click on the little button that says Win Tickets and More, and we'll see if we can make you a big old winner on Friday with Free Flag Friday from our friends at Maximum Promotions in Sioux Falls.
Did you know you can allocate a percentage of your IRA to physical gold and silver with a tax-free rollover? You can put your IRA back on the gold standard. Genesis Gold IRA is the only IRA that can hold physical precious metals. Call now for your free gold and silver report and learn how to qualify for up to $10,000 in free silver. GenesisGoldIRA.com would like to help protect your IRA today with a simple phone call. Learn more and get the phone number at GenesisGoldIRA.com. That's GenesisGoldIRA.com.
Time now for Back to the Basics in Healthcare with Balanced Life Chiropractic. We've got Dr. Harley joining us. How you doing, Dr. Harley?
Hey, good morning, John.
Kids are back at school, so now they're sitting in the classrooms and they're dragging backpacks back and forth. And there's all kinds of stuff that these are different things than what they're used to in the summer, right?
Yeah, you would think they would remember everything they did the previous school year, but it's like once summer hits, everything gets forgotten. And then when we start the school year again, it's like we have to relearn everything. So one thing I wanted to touch about today, and maybe a couple of things, is, backpacks and how they're sitting at their desk. We've been talking a lot about stress and sickness and that kind of stuff, but also some of the everyday repetitive motions that they're doing that can be causing some of their aches, pains, and that they're noticing. So one thing, especially with the backpacks, is they're a lot of times too heavy.
Mm-hmm. And part of that is they don't necessarily need to carry all this stuff everywhere, but it's easier if they just put it all in the bag and drag it all everywhere. But they don't need to do that, right?
It depends, I guess, on the school. Some schools, they have lockers that they can go back and forth between, and they have time to do it. Sometimes maybe they do need to carry a lot of stuff because they're having to go all the way to the other side of the building. It just kind of depends on what their school looks like.
You could just do what I did. I didn't carry any of those in my backpack. I just had comic books. That's all I needed. Like, well, let's see what Thor thinks about this.
How'd you do in school, John?
I did really well, actually.
Oh, okay.
Sadly, I didn't really read comic books. I was kidding about that.
Sure.
Is Thor even in comic books? I don't even know.
Yes.
So, I just knew it was in the movies. So
yeah. Well, most of those movies came from comic
That's what I was thinking. Honestly, I'm trying to be funny, and I have no idea what I'm talking about. But no, I think that a lot of the time people do carry way too much stuff in there. So even if they do have to carry all their stuff, maybe they could limit some of the other things, maybe?
Potentially too, but also how are they carrying their backpack? Are they carrying one that's, to begin with, too big? And that comes with like really little elementary school kids. A lot of times they're carrying too big of a backpack. Your backpack should be less than 10% of your body weight.
Oh, wow.
So it seems like that seems like such a small percentage, but obviously the bigger kids, they're going to be carrying a little bit more weight. But also, how are you carrying it? Are you carrying it close to your body? Or are you doing the one shoulder shrug thing? Or do you have a one shoulder bag in general? Or
carry on luggage? Not
have it tight enough too. So that's another thing. If you're carrying a really heavy backpack, how loose is it on you? Because you want that backpack a little bit tighter to you, higher up on your back. Then you're not going to be leaning down with it. It's not going to be pulling you backwards as much.
Do you think they could use carry-on luggage that has the wheels, just roll that from room to room?
I don't know. That'd be a great question for the school principals.
If they make them carry their books everywhere, they should be able to do that, right?
Reach out to Sunny Radio if you have an answer to that. Start doing like a Q&A session.
Yeah, I did. I had a lot of Q's, not many A's.
Well, maybe your listeners have some answers.
There you go. That's good.
So that's definitely one thing being mindful of is what's in their backpack, how are they carrying, but then two, how are they sitting in class? What kind of chairs are they using? Obviously, they might not have much of an option with the chairs. I know some school districts are getting a little more progressive with like having different options, what works for them for learning. Do they like this kind of chair, this kind of style? So that's cool. Obviously, if you don't go to one of those schools and you're stuck with like your plain desk, but make sure you're sitting upright. I know it's not as comfortable, it's not as fun, you're bored, you're not liking your class or whatnot, but sitting up properly, elbows at 90 and 90, hips and knees at 90 and 90, sitting upright, your back is going to thank you, your head is going to thank you because you're not having all that forward head posture. It's much better in the long run to have good posture at your desk versus slouching.
Nice. And that's just having the proper posture.
Mm-hmm. Posture is a big factor to a lot of things.
It really is. So if somebody listening is going, hey, I've got some questions, maybe not those silly things I was talking about, but if they've got some good questions that might relate to what you guys do, how do they get a hold of you here at Balanced Life Chiropractic?
If you have questions about going to a chiropractor or what we do differently in our office or getting started with us, you can reach out to us at 605-215-1785 or message us on our Facebook page at Balanced Life Chiropractic. We'd love to chat and let you know how we can help you or your child have a happier, healthier back to school.
Very nice. You can learn more on their website, and that is balancedlifesd.com.
How much do you pay for your cell phone every month? If that's more than $15, it's time for a Mintervention. Mint Mobile makes it affordable and easy to switch. Get a new phone or bring your current one. Whether you're a fan of iPhones or Samsung, they both work well with Mint Mobile. At Mintervention.com, you can see the current special offers from Mint Mobile, offering premium wireless for just $15 a month. That's far less than most people are paying. Just $15 a month. Learn more now at Mintervention.com.
This Day in Sioux Falls History is brought to you by the Sioux Falls Fun Page, West Sioux Studios, and Sunny 93.3. It was on this day, August 30th, 1945, the infamous Battleship X, the USS South Dakota, was among the first American ships in Tokyo Harbor. The Japanese had surrendered after the U.S. dropped 2 atomic bombs on their nation earlier in the month. An official peace treaty was being drawn up, and President Truman was en route to the harbor to sign it. And for one day, it was decided that he would sign that historic document right on the deck of the USS South Dakota. But alas, by the time President Truman arrived, the battleship bearing the name of his home state, the USS Missouri, had made it to Tokyo Harbor and was therefore given the honor of hosting the president and the treaty signing ceremony. The USS South Dakota was right next door, flying its colors proud and always doing its duty to protect our nation. And of course, you can see the memorial to the USS South Dakota, the Battleship Memorial, on 12th Street near Kiwanis in Sioux Falls. This Day in Sioux Falls History has been brought to you by the Sioux Falls Fun Page, West Sioux Studios, and Sunny 93.3.
Why did the chicken cross the road? To save money on insurance at InsuranceChicken.com. Do you have the best plan for you? Find out at InsuranceChicken.com. Let's face it, we don't even want insurance. We need it. But you don't need to overpay. Head over to InsuranceChicken.com to see your rates from several different companies. All available in one place at InsuranceChicken.com. The other guys have a gecko, a duck, and an emu. Why not a chicken? InsuranceChicken.com. That's InsuranceChicken.com.